I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of the Shooting Show. You'll recognize my lovely wife, Heather. We're so glad to be here with you today, friends, because, you know, we got a job in front of us. And that job is to educate more Americans about how to properly treat firearms, how to properly handle firearms. And look, the fight's not over. We're here today. If you're seeing this on television, this fight is not over. Why do you think our opposition is cheating so hard, trying to buy all the votes possible, trying to literally railroad us through popular media, through magazines, through TV, through radio? Remember, this ceasefire thing, which is subsidized by your and my tax dollars, is going to have over 375 million anti-gun messages literally spread out on the airwaves all over this country. Now, friends, the only strategy here is we have to fight back. We absolutely have to. That's why we're here on television. That's why we're on the radio. This is why we do our programming. Because you know what? When the truth is presented equally, when the truth is presented fairly, you know what? The truth will win. But the problem is it's not being presented fairly. So that's why we're here today. This is equal time, or this is the truth here today on this program. We have a great show for you. We have a lot of things that we're going to be talking about on today's show. As I have said many times, you know, the shotgun is absolutely the most complete weapons system. You can go from literally being able to shoot targets at 100 yards or even further with slugs to shooting birds with birdshot. It's absolutely a complete weapon system. This is a gun sent to us by the good folks out at Vang Comp, and that's spelled V-A-N-G Comp. This is a Remington 870 that they have reworked. They've slicked up the action. It has a porting job here on the barrel. It has some very special internal engineering here in this barrel. A very slick gun. Let's go ahead and get a program started today. You know, at 100 yards, which is our from where we are, is our shooting range from here. You wouldn't normally think of a shotgun as with anything but slugs, but I tell you what, this Vang Comp gun performs so dramatically differently than any shotgun I think that most of us have seen. We've got our 18-inch disc down here at 100 yards, and we have some federal buckshot, double-aught buckshot. This is the tactical buckshot. It doesn't have quite as much recoil. A lot of police departments, a lot of security groups are now using this, hold that on please, are using this tactical buckshot because it doesn't have quite as much recoil. But listen really well, watch. I think we're going to be able to consistently hit that steel disc down there at 100 yards with buckshot out of this Vang Comp gun. Let's see how it does. Listen for the shot on the steel disc. This would be something we would never even attempt with a regular shotgun, but we're going to do it today with this Remington modified by the folks out there at Vang Comp. See what it does. Now, friends, you heard it. In fact, the disc is moving. That is most remarkable performance with buckshot. Now, friends, we're looking at the muzzle of the Vang Comp shotgun. This is the 870 Remington. You can see these holes. This is called porting, and what it does, it makes the recoil less. It keeps the barrel down and certainly has an effect of lessening recoil. Moving down the gun, we can see the terrific MMC ghost ring sights. They make sighting very easy. You look through the aperture, you have a large, of course, front sight, easy to see, very nicely done. And then looking inside the gun, you can see it has a colored magazine follower, so it's easy to see. Even in low light conditions, you can still see when you're out of cartridges there. This is an entire package on a Remington 870. This is a speed feed stock, custom stock. Very slick, very nicely done. Of course, the 870 Remington is one of the best shotguns that anyone has ever built. They make these for the 870. Also, this barrel comes as a package itself. It has a system of back boring, which lessens pressures and increases performance on the shell. They also make them for Mossbergs and some other guns. You'll have to call them to find out about their complete package. But a very nice tactical shotgun. Now, friends, you've seen my old Mossberg 590 many times on the program. It's unloaded, it's taken 3 times. And what is amazing, on a slicked up Mossberg, of course I have put fluid film in this action, and honestly you can literally work the action just by pressure there. It's so slick with fluid film. But the Remington H70s to me are not normally as smooth as the 590 Mossbergs, but after the folks there at Van Comp reworked this one, it is in fact just as smooth. Oh, if I turn loose of the catch there, it would work. Just as smooth as can be. The Remingtons work, those of you that are familiar, work a little differently than the Mossberg. You have your release switch here, and I'm most impressed. Now this is not an inexpensive gun, but honestly friends, the Van Comp setup is really being used now by companies like Gunsight. A lot of your enthusiastic higher tech training academies are very well aware of this. People like the folks that really are into teaching combat shotguns, this is really a huge advantage over the standard barrel. Now what we're going to do, we have the folks there at Van Comp sent me a barrel for my Mossberg. This is a stock barrel they have taken and modified, and on the inside now, that's where the engineering really does count on these pieces of equipment, because it has been backboard, which is a technical term. Trust me, it really does make a difference. It works. Just to show the difference in group size, one of the problems with buckshot is it spreads so rapidly. It's typically most often used at very close ranges, has a very limited range you can use it at, and certainly if there's any kind of hostage situation, it's almost never used, simply because your spread, it might hit the hostage as well as the hostage taker. So it's something that's when you would go to a slug under most circumstances. I think you're going to be surprised today. Let's shoot some, let's see, we have some double-aught buckshot here, standard double-aught buck, and let's shoot one of our paper targets. We're out at about 45 feet, about 15 yards as we speak, and far enough that buckshot would be spreading. Let's take our standard cylinder bore barrel here, and we're going to shoot the first target there with standard double-aught buckshot. Do that right now. Okay, let's take some of the new Federal tactical buckshot, and yeah, that standard double-aught does pound you a little bit. We'll take the tactical load and we'll shoot the second target and see what it looks like. That tactical buckshot does not have quite as much recoil. And let's do one more thing, since we're here just for fun. Let's take a high-powered field load. This is heck number something here, a field load, and let's shoot our third target with it and see what happens. Standard barrel, the field load. Oh, yes, indeed. 12 gauges, especially this Mossberg's pretty light shotgun. Yeah, they kick some. Now then, a simple thing. We know this gun is unloaded. We know beyond a shadow of a doubt, and I can see the shell follower because we're about to change barrels on it. To change the barrel on your Remington or Mossberg is a very simple thing. Just got to contain the spring here. Just takes a minute. Now then, and watch this. Just, oops, here we go. Now, okay. Take it right off. Gonna put our Van Comp barrel on here. Get it through our spring. Of course, if under normal circumstances, if I was taking my time, I would take the spring out. Just put the barrel right in it. Hold our spring down. This will be a very similar exercise for the Remington. Capture our spring there with our cap. I said, we check and double check to be sure our gun's unloaded. And guess what? The new barrel is in place. Slick, huh? But that's all there is to it. We're going to double check. Yes, it is down. It is in place where it's supposed to be. Just checking, just to be sure. All right. Now then, let's do the same drill. Start off with regular double-aught buckshot, and we'll shoot the bottom part of the first target with the Van Comp barrel in place. Here we go. Okay, and it didn't have, I don't know if you could tell it then, recoil is down by a bunch. Trust me on this one. Now then, let's use one of our Federal tactical loads here. We have a few on the table here. Now then, which is a second target, bottom half. Remarkable. Now this is what we shot the disc with out of the Remington at 100 yards, and that's unheard of, making a shot with buckshot, because you just simply don't know where the pellets are going to go that far. We actually hit that disc. I think you're going to be surprised. That's with tactical buck. And now let's take one of the field loads, high-powered field load, I might add. Shoot the third target. Yes, indeed. All right, now then, let's go down here and we're going to mark our targets so we can compare them. Let's do that right now. Now, friends, here we are. This was our standard double-aught buckshot load shot with the stock barrel, the Van Comp barrel. Look, it made quite a bit, about a third smaller with regular buckshot, at least about a third smaller. Let's move over to our next target. Here was the tactical load with the stock barrel, which this Mossberg has they have a really good barrel from the factory, but the tactical load, now then, with the Van Comp, it's half the size. It's that much tighter, literally half the size of the group. So it's going to shoot buckshot much, much tighter with the Van Comp. Let's go over to our field load, and this is unbelievable. Here is the standard Mossberg barrel with the field load, which is like number 4s or so, something there. And look, you got this size group. Here's the Van Comp barrel with the field load. That is absolutely remarkable performance. And of course, these guns with the Van Comp system, they shoot slugs equally as well. And something else we're going to show you in a moment, recoil was just vastly reduced. It just doesn't hit you as hard on the shoulder. Tremendous target.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, we hope you're enjoying our program today, but you know what? What we're doing here on the air costs a lot of money to do this. You know, when we ask for contributions, less than 1%, over 99 out of 100 people watching this program won't contribute 10 cents toward keeping us on the air. That means that 1% or less than 1% of our viewing audience is literally helping to pay the freight for everyone else. Friends, we feel our job is so important. The judge here is holding a draft of a proposed national firearms registration form right here. The only chance we have to retain our gun rights is to let more people know what's happening. Look at the difficulties now when all this information is out on President Clinton. Hadn't done a doggone thing toward getting him out or anything like that. The opposition is so severe. But you know what? We can have an effect. We are making an effect, but we need your help to continue here on the air. If you can help keep the shooting show on the air, if you can spare $5 or $20 or $50 or $500 or $5,000, whatever you can do to help us stay on the air, please send whatever you can to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. If you can advertise on our program, if you can help our sponsors help us stay on there, please give us a call. Area 318-377-5189. Friends, this fight has to go on. We need your help to continue. Now, friends, we're going to attempt to demonstrate just how much the Van Comp reduces recoil. We have installed the stock barrel back on our Mossberg, got it in tight real good. And we have 3 shells we're going to shoot right now. One, we have a double-aught buckshot, standard variety. We have a 1-ounce slug. And then we also have one load. The last load will be the tactical buckshot. We're going to hold along about the bottom line here and watch. And like I said, we'll just see if we can see this. Watch how much the barrel recoils up on each one of these high-powered loads. Okay, we'll start with double-aught buckshot, and I'll try and stop it at the top of the arc. I'll try. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, probably we're going to say along about the 12-inch mark here, from 16, about a 4-inch mark there. We'll try it again. This time we're going to use the slug. Let's see, it's going to be similar to the double-aught buck. Let's see what it does. A little more severe, long about 2, 4, 6, long about 6 inches. Now then, let's try the Federal tactical buckshot load. Okay, a couple of inches here, maybe 2.5, long about maybe right here. So we're looking, and yes, we know this gun's unloaded. We're looking, the double-aught was somewhere about 4 inches. The slug was about 6 inches recoil, and the tactical buckshot was along about here, about 3 inches. So it was definitely less than the standard. And the tactical buckshot load is double-aught. It just doesn't have quite as much pressure, and you can sure tell a difference in recoil the way it feels. All right, let's change barrels. Repeat the same drill with the Van Comp barrel and compare the two. Now, friends, what we've done, we've marked. This was the tactical buckshot, recoil of the muzzle. This was double-aught. This was the slug out of the stock barrel. Now then, we have the Van Comp barrel. The first load we're going to shoot is double-aught buckshot. Same sequence as we did the other, but the Van Comp barrel. Let's see what it does. Right even with this line right here. Well, knock me out. You see this? Recoil about, heck, maybe, I don't think it even made the 2-inch mark. That's a double-aught buck. Let's try the slug, which had recoiled up to here. Van Comp. Okay, friends, we're in the same amazing, you saw it now, there's no way, I mean, you can't hold these things down. My goodness. All right, let's shoot our tactical buckshot load and see what the Van Comp does in lessening muzzle jump. Here we go. Same drill. Excuse me. Did it move enough? That's about all I saw.
That's it.
Okay. Think this thing works? Here's with the stock barrel from 3 inches up to 6 inches in muzzle jump. Heck, we never got up to 2 on the Van Comp, shooting the same shells. And you can darn sure feel it on your shoulder. Now, friends, I'll tell you what, Heather has shot the model 590 Mossberg several times, and you really don't, it's a little much for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it knocks me around a little bit.
Well, it does. However, we're going to let her shoot this Van Comp with some 12 gauge loads here, and you hadn't tried this before, but I think it's going to work good, okay? Go ahead and get up to your shoulder. I'm going to step back out of the way. Go ahead and pump it. Pull the little lever up there on the back, right here. Go, push that up now. All right, go ahead and get in position there. And trust me, friends, if this is going to hurt her, I wouldn't let her do it. But I don't think it is.
Let me shoot just once.
Yeah, go ahead and shoot once. Well, what do you think?
Not bad.
Now, go ahead and pump it again. All right, go ahead. Now, can you tell the difference?
Significantly less impact.
Well, it didn't hurt, did it?
No, it didn't.
Well, that's really remarkable. And see, I tell you what, this makes a 12 gauge shotgun. You can put the lighter loads in it, and most women are uncomfortable shooting a 12 gauge shotgun because typically most women, not all women, but most women are smaller in stature than the average man. And I tell you what, birdshot, as we've said in the home, birdshot is a tremendous home defense, maybe the best inside the home defensive round for a shotgun. And didn't have much kick at all. I watched it, went just like that.
Not bad at all.
Not bad at all.
No.
A huge difference. Now, friends, some of you may be asking just what this Van Comp is worth as far as to us, the homeowner, or maybe us, the police officer, because we'd have a good number of police officers that watch this program. Let's see if we can demonstrate that. We have our 12 gauge a field load in here. Target's up pretty close. We'll go ahead and on the buzzer here, I'll bring the gun up and shoot it 3 times as rapidly as I can. And let's take a look at the group size with this Van Comp barrel in place. Okay, that's rapid fire in 3 shots in a little over a second. So let's see now. Put the gun down. We know, well, it's all right. Just bring it with me. Okay, see if we can come up to our target here. Now, friends, rapid fire, that is a pretty darn impressive group using a field load, so it really holds together well. And in a close combat situation with the Van Comp, you can actually use the shotgun darn near like you would a rifle with these great sights on it. Tremendous advantages to this, because nothing that we have access to can equal the power of a shotgun. And you noticed how it just didn't recoil, just didn't have a lot of recoil. Friends, what we've done, we've made a no-shoot of the bottom part of this target, and this could really be important, especially to police officers, that a lot of whom are using this tactical buckshot. Now, what we have here, we've got a small target here, and picture this, in a hostage situation, someone will be standing behind the hostage. If you got buckshot in a regular shotgun, you don't shoot the gun. Then you go to your handgun or something where you have a single projectile. But let's put this out at about 10 yards. It's something we would never do with a normal or standard shotgun barrel and buckshot. Let's put it out here at about 10 yards, and let's see what it looks like. Now, friends, what we've done, we've got a no-shoot bottom half of the target there. We're going to shoot at the circle on top. Now, realize this could be a real situation for a police officer. Maybe, heck, who knows which one of us now with these terrorist groups, who knows what security agency or even a homeowner might encounter something like that. And my goodness, if someone is standing behind a loved one with a knife to their throat or something, or police officers do encounter this from time to time, using the Van Comp barrel and the tactical buckshot, we're out here at about 10 yards. And let's see if we can hit the ring on top of the target without hitting the no-shoot, the large bottom there. Let's see how it looks right now. Okay, let's look at it. Friends, this is where the wad went through the paper, but here's what we're really concerned with here. You see all 9 of those buckshot stayed within this small circle. Now, that's at 30 feet. Again, this is something we would never attempt with a standard shotgun barrel, but to me that is remarkable performance for a buckshot at that kind of distance. Now friends, we've got our Van Comp barrel on the Mossberg here. We just have a field load birdshot there, and we're going to shoot the shot stop. We're about 10 or 12 yards from the shot stop, which is a small target at that distance for a shotgun. But let's see what it looks like. I think you'll be impressed. Normally we would not be able to knock the shot stop over with just birdshot from this distance because we're far enough away, the shot started to spread. So let's see what it looks like. See what happens now. Does it take them over or what? Unbelievable performance, friends. All right, friends, we have double-aught buckshot in the gun, and just watching my hands again at the huge reduction in recoil that we would normally expect. This is honestly one of the neatest things that we've ever seen as an option for the homeowner who really wants to have the best equipment he can, and it's still affordable. The best equipment that you can, or a police officer that really wants to have the greatest advantage. Tell you what, friends, we see pictures, put this on stage, we see pictures of gangs with, excuse me, with submachine guns on TV. Of course, what they have is semi-automatics, or they may have something imported from out of the country. Trust me, a submachine gun is no match for a shotgun, 12-gauge shot. It's not even in the same race, friends. It is absolutely not the same thing. We've heard some of the anti-gun people say, well, the police are outgunned. If the police have shotguns, they're not outgunned with anything. A shotgun, someone who is halfway trained to use a shotgun, will literally eat a submachine gun in a real-life match as far as on any kind of tactical course. It's just not the same thing. So those folks that think that the submachine guns or the assault-type guns are superior to a shotgun, they're wrong. They're just flatly wrong. People don't realize the capability that these guns have. Okay, with the Van Comp, let's go ahead and shoot 3 rounds of that tactical buckshot as fast as I can run it this afternoon, and watch what the muzzle doesn't do. Here we go. A little rapid fire here. Got one loaded. This would normally be painful with double-aught buckshot, but let's watch it this afternoon. There's just no rise at all. Tell you what, friends, we really appreciate the folks out at Van Comp and sending us and loaning us a gun and sending us these barrels for use on our program. We really do appreciate it, but trust me on this one. The real debt here is for information to you folks out there that really could use one of these. This concept alone could mean the difference in a police officer winning a gunfight and not. It really makes that bit of difference. For someone who is recoil sensitive, it cuts recoil down dramatically from the standard barrel. It is well worth what their asking price is on this terrific piece of engineering. Remember, schools like Gunsight and others are recommending the Van Comp system, so we'll tell you how to get in touch with them if you're interested, but we certainly thought it was something that you'd be interested in seeing on our program today. A tremendous system and something that we highly recommend.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nodular bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Tell you what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show.
And we want to remind you they now have the 41 Magnum Defense Special Load there in stock at Georgia Arms for those of you that are looking for an easy-to-shoot but effective 41 Magnum Defense Load. So you can call them again, 1-800-624-6861. The good folks at Georgia Arms get a free catalog with a free phone call. Please tell them you saw it here on our show. And for information on the Van Comp systems for your shotgun, give them a call, area 805-964-7956. Again, area 805-964-7956. Well, friends, here we are, my good friend Leroy Scott and myself. We do want to mention that if you would like to write in his name, if you're an NRA voting person, if you'd like to write in his name, I tell you what, if we could get Leroy Scott on the board of the NRA, they would be a different organization, huh, sir?
I don't know if they'd be a different organization or not, but they'd certainly hear some other things.
Well, we might have to give you some karate lessons. Well, friends, sincerely, we're here today thanks in part to your contributions. We want to thank those who have contributed. Look, we've got a ways to go. We're working on things that will help increase our programming because you know what, friends? We're going to lose our rights to own firearms here in the United States. We're going to lose our guns if we don't start to make some progress towards slowing down some of this goofy legislation. Right now, we got out this National Firearms Registration Form, which is being considered, and realize this fall the Brady bill is going to go to instant check status, whereas whatever kind of gun you buy, you're going to have to get somebody's permission, huh, Judge? Isn't that outrageous?
It's absurd as far as that. It's more than outrageous.
Well, before you talk to your neighbors, before you say something, see if we want to apply what's being applied to the Second Amendment to the First Amendment, heck, Judge, you may have to have permission to speak to anybody, huh?
That's going to be kind of hard to do.
Well, it is, but friends, this is what it's headed toward. This is not a joke. Looking on this firearms registration form, Judge, you mentioned a couple of things you saw there.
Well, there's some outrageous things on here. Are you currently being treated or taking medication for mental illness such as depression? Now, I'm not aware that depression is a mental illness in the first place. I think everybody's depressed about one thing or another over the years. And they want to call that a mental illness?
Well, they're telling a lot of they're changing the language on a lot of other things. What else?
What organizations do you belong to? Include religious and political affiliations. Mm-hmm. That is outrageous. Nobody has a right to even ask me what my religion is or what my political affiliation is. I'm glad to tell you I'm Episcopalian and I'm a Republican. I'm really a libertarian disguised as a Republican.
Well, these are things, friends, that you see as they tighten the pincers, they tighten the noose on gun ownership. Right now, Judge, you know what? I remember very well. I've seen ads where people used to be able to order handguns through the mail. I mean, I remember that very well.
Yeah, I do too.
But, you know, was crime as big a problem then as it is now? I don't think so, huh? Back in the early 1900s, I don't think crime...
No, it was a lot less. Have you completed the mandatory 6 weeks firearms training course? Now, who the hell has the ability to take 6 weeks out of their life for a firearms training course? And besides, how much training do you need for firearms safety?
Well, what we're talking about here, they're trying to make it so difficult, just like with the Brady Bill. See, that's what the Brady Bill thing's about, is difficulty. Now, to get an FFL, Federal Firearms License, you got to be fingerprinted, pictures taken. You have to supply a diagram of where your guns are and where you keep them stored. All these things are to make it more and more difficult, so more and more people just won't want to go to the trouble, huh, Judge?
Have you any hunting licenses? What kind? Do you have a concealed carry permit? Are you a member of a gun club?
What business is it of theirs?
It is none of the government's business about any of these things. How often do you use your firearms? Daily, weekly, once a month, only for hunting, other? Yeah, I use them to shoot burglars with.
Well...
Where do you most often use your firearms? Now, just what kind of question is that? Where do you most often use your firearms? Have you ever purchased a firearm from an unlicensed dealer?
Ooh.
No, you know, I never have asked the dealer for the license to see if he's licensed. I assume that's something, but that he's cleared with BATF or somebody. If he's got them for sale, I may buy them.
Well, what really irritates me as much as anything else about this form, they open the way up for in-home inspections by government authority. Now, Judge, you know, I have a problem with someone coming in my house inspecting what I got in my house, don't you?
Absolutely. Furthermore, I understand my firearms registration may be revoked at any time deemed necessary, and my firearms subject to confiscation and destruction should it become required.
Well, friends, this is what lies ahead if we don't make some inroads. You know, Judge, I heard something today that on Rush Limbaugh's program that I thought was was interesting. He said the reasons the Republicans are keeping a low profile now is so hopefully they can have a good election this fall in the House of Representatives, and hopefully they can possibly get somebody. They think Al Gore is basically unelectable, and they're hoping to get somebody in the White House in the year 2000. The problem is, friends, Bill Clinton can do a lot of damage between now and the year 2000, can't he, Judge?
He can do a tremendous amount of damage between now and 2000. Think of all the damage he's done in the last 5 years.
That he's already done. See, we've had, as federal firearms licensees, we've had that system totally revamped. It used to be $10 a year to have a federal firearms license, and you sent your form in. Now you have to go to your sheriff and get an application. You have to file papers with your local sheriff. It's, I think, $300 now for a new prospective licensee. Look what the changes he's wrought. Look, the Brady Bill has gone into effect under Bill Clinton's tenure in the White House. How much more stuff?
Well, you know, there's another aspect to that, Johnny. The Clintonians will tell you that they've prevented several 100,000 firearms from being sold to felons. Now, you know, that's just not true. There have been many, many cases of mistaken identity. There have been many, many cases, of course, for mistaken identity. The first thing they want you to do is furnish your Social Security number, which incidentally is also none of their damn business. Then on top of that, I get so wrought up about this, Johnny, I can't even think straight.
Well, but you're exactly right, Judge. Look what they have done already. We don't know what his executive order. See, they pulled a lot of import licenses due to instruction from the White House, where people actually bought stuff in other countries that was legal, even within these ridiculous guidelines, that was legal to do, have gotten them over here, gotten them all the way to the dock, and then the administration pulls their import license, just like that. Well, what you've done, you've put people into bankruptcy with no retribution at all. They say tough. What you going to do about it? And see, they know that what they're doing may be illegal. But it doesn't matter because they're the government. They can sit on it. What do they have to lose, huh?
Well, they've got the biggest law firm in the world.
In the world. Thousands and thousands and thousands of attorneys there in Washington to do whatever needs to be done. They're on the government payroll.
And I can tell you from a little experience in representing a client that they will spend in well over the amount that they can recover just to make sure that they get what they want.
Just to set a precedent, just to make an example. Now, you know, Judge, I remember when they tried to make an example down there at Waco, Texas. They had a barbecue that went on for a while with a whole bunch of innocent women and children involved just to make their point, friends.
Of course, that's the Witch of Waco.
That's the Witch of Waco. And they had the deal up in Ruby Ridge, Idaho, and how many others that we have not heard about. Look what they did to Art Alphin. And heck, you folks who've been watching this show for any time, you know Art Alphin, instructor at West Point, credentials beyond absolutely above reproach. And look what they did to him. They attacked his home with government agents for nothing.
What have we done with that prison down in Mississippi that we discovered?
Don't know. We're hearing about other prisons, camps around the country that are brand new, that are huge facilities that nobody's in. Well, hey, friends, if nobody's here to tell us about these things, what are we going to do? How are we going to know about it? And then one day, the brown shirts or black shirts or whoever come to your home and say, hey, you're no longer allowed. We got a place for you down here in the country. You and your family are going to be locked up. You won't see your family anymore. What you going to do then?
You might even call these people the white shirts.
Who knows? Don't know what color shirts they'll be. But friends, let me tell you what, we hear from people all the time that complain, and when it comes down to say, well, will you help us? Will you help us educate people on TV? Oh, no, I don't want to spend any money. Oh, I can't do that.
Well, the real thing, Johnny, is that they think it can't happen here.
They think it can't happen. Well, you know, did those 60 million people in China, China is a much bigger country population-wise than the United States. Did you think those 60 million people that Mao Zedong killed in China, did you think they thought that could happen? Probably not, huh?
Probably not.
What about those people in Russia? Joseph Stalin killed 20 million of his own people. Did they think that that could happen to them? Surely not. Surely not. Here in the United States, are we going to be so doggone dense? Are we going to be so stupid as to lose every moral principle our country's been founded on? Are we going to let it go? Are we going to be dumb enough to let it go?
Well, Johnny, you've got also the Holocaust.
That's right. That's right. And the Jewish people in Germany were some of the most successful people in Germany.
They didn't think it could happen.
Couldn't happen there. Some of the Germans are some of the brightest, most industrious people on the face of the earth. The Jews in Germany were very well-mannered. They were well-off economically. They didn't think it could happen.
Well, in fact, Hitler succeeded in chasing to the United States or to other countries, particularly the United States, the brains behind the atomic bomb and nuclear weapons.
That's true. So, friends, it can happen here. And as we speak, our liberties are slipping away little by little every day. You want to help us? You want to help us stay on? You know, we've gone as far as we can by ourselves.
And I don't want to hear anything else about the economy is good, so it doesn't make a difference what he does. That's ridiculous.
You know, you're right. I couldn't agree more, Judge. You want to help us stay on the air. You want to help fight for. We're not fighting just for your life and our lives. We're fighting for our children's lives. You know, I've got granddaughters now, and you know what, Judge? 30, 40 years from now, I would like for my granddaughters to be able to defend themselves if they need to against a perpetrator, a rapist, or an attacker. I would like that very much. Right now, we stand in danger of losing that right.
What are the statistics, Johnny? Isn't it that 1 out of 3 or 4 women that are 15 years of age or older are going to be raped in their lifetime?
Horrible figures, friends. And you know what? We're losing the rights for not only ourselves, but for our children and their children, because we're not passing on our values. We're flatly not doing it. That's why we're here on television. That's why we work as hard in this broadcast as we can. Will you help us? Friends, it's serious here. Our financial situation is serious. Will you help us? Please, if you can. Please. And you know, we can say, that we did everything we could. If you help us, you can say, hey, we're trying to. You can say that. But those people out there that are watching that say, well, somebody else will do it, well, guess what? Maybe nobody else will. Maybe no one else will help. And then you have yourselves to thank if you don't try, if you don't vote, and you don't make an effort to help an effort like ours. You can say, well, I helped this happen. That's what you can do. You said, yep. You can pat yourself on the back and say, yeah, by doing nothing, I helped us lose our guns.
Well, Johnny, the problem is that they're delaying making contributions or an effort, but the trouble is that liberties once lost are extremely difficult to regain, if ever.
If ever. Friends, please, if you can help us, the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Beverly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. This is serious, friends. This is as serious as it gets. Please help if you can.
And we're going to start doing a little political stuff because the political season is coming around. I have a fax from Gun Owners of America where Al Sally, I believe Sally is his name, Sally or something like that, is running for governor of Illinois. And I don't know how the election came out. I got the fax the day before the election, so there wasn't much anybody could do. But a year ago or 2 years ago, he solicited the support of Gun Owners of America with a long litany of things that he was doing or had done, and now all of a sudden he's reversed his position on all of them. It just happens his opponent is a friend of the gun owners, though, and I hope he learns his lesson.
Hope so. Well, friends, stay tuned. Hopefully we'll see you here on continuing programs. We hope so.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Now, friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod, but these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001.
And we want to remind you that NWI now has a limited number of the 50 Browning caliber machine gun conversions. Trust me, friends, these guns will not be available forever. They have ammunition specials on 30-06 and on the 50 Browning cartridge. So give them a call today if you'd like to own one of these great pieces of history. In fact, let's go back and see it in action. And friends, let's go back and review the last of that cleaning portion we started a couple of weeks ago, see what it looks like.
Protect it. So, now then, we're looking pretty good here. Let's go ahead and run another cleaning patch through our cylinder and check our, see it's doing good now. See, very little is coming off on the white patch. Just a little bit. This ought to do it right here, like so. And like so. Looking good. You can look down it. Here we are. Going to clean around the barrel. We don't want to leave any unburned or wiped oil around the forcing cone here on the barrel. We want to get all that. And even do this number here. We're just going to do this little trick right here. We want it all off if we possibly can get it there. Now then, we'll run down the, go down the barrel one more time, like so. Be careful now. This is important. You want that bore guide that in place to protect the barrel, because if the rifling's clean and sharp, the barrel will continue to shoot good, and if that crown is left undisturbed, you're okay. See, looking good, looking good. I think that pretty well got it. Now then, let's take a close look, see how the gun looks. Now friends, this gun did look pretty bad. It had, of course, had gunk all over it, literally, and you can see we got it all off. Let's take a look down at the, take our white cleaning patch here and see our cylinder. Looks good, and it is dry inside. It's very important. You want the walls on that cylinder to be dry on the inside. If the ejector star here had been, and the ratchet had been really dirty, we would have taken a toothbrush and gone over that, but it wasn't so bad today. Now then, let's take a look down the barrel. If we can, let's see, get our light down here, yeah, our white patch, and see we're looking good. See the rifling in the barrel, it's clear and clean. I'd say we did a pretty nice job of cleaning it.
Now, friends, if you remember what the gun looked like a couple of weeks ago when we started cleaning, you'd realize it was very dirty, had a lot of gunk all over it there. We used fluid film in cleaning and in lubricating the gun. You can get 2 large cans of the greatest lubricant we have ever come across. The entire time we've been doing this program, we've never seen anything like it. Fluid film, 2 large cans, $19.95 from the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road, Duberly, Louisiana. The zip code is 71024. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And we want to recognize in our support group this week, Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery, all kinds of leatherwork there in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Give them a call, area 504-667-9225 for literally all kinds of leatherwork. Also, Flying Horse Enterprises, they're on the internet there at www.flyinghorse.net. They have all kinds of neat artwork done there. And we want to recognize Holland Guard Service over in Meridian, Mississippi. Wayne Bearden, our friend over there, for all kinds of security needs in that area. Their number is area 601-644-3950. And our good friend Dennis Crocker, who is a firearms instructor there in South Carolina, teaches concealed carry, all kinds of firearms instruction. You can give him a call, area 864-587-8722. And our good friend Bruce Warren with BC Armory there in East Leroy, Michigan. He does all kinds of work on semi-automatics and on revolvers. For his expertise, you can give him a call at area 616-729-5508. And of course, we want to remember Clark Custom Guns here in Princeton, Louisiana, for all kinds of work on handguns and Ruger 22 automatic rifles and bolt-action rifles for that matter. Remember, we're going to have our Fun Gun Weekend at Clark Custom Guns on May 16 and 17. For information about their product line, give them a call, area 318-949-9884. Friends, we certainly hope you've enjoyed our program for this week. Let's go back and do a little more shooting before we run out of time. Friends, what we're going to do, we're going to run an experiment here comparing a handgun to the shotgun. We've got 6 targets, 4 paper targets, the steel disc, and we've got a water bottle we're going to finish with over here. So let's run a time test. Only hits count on these targets and shooting the water bottle last. And we're using Magnum ammunition here in our Smith & Wesson revolver. Let's time it, see what it looks like. Start from low ready. All right, we'll try to get it shut itself off.
The timer shut itself off. All right,
Here's the line.
run it forward a little bit. Okay, here we go. Low, ready? Okay, got good hits on all our targets. Well, just outside the line on this one, but yes, it did break the line, so it counts. Now then, friends, our time was 4.33 seconds. Let's see how we run it with this Van Comp shotgun 12 gauge. See what it looks like. 4.33 for the handgun. And some good hits in the water bottle, 3.87 seconds, and each one of those hits would have been pretty vicious. So you can run a shotgun quite a bit faster than you can a handgun if you're halfway practiced, and realize that I don't practice that much with a shotgun. That's just me, Mr. Average Shooter here. So it shows the capability these guns really do have.